Hello! Hi! Hi! 迷惑の今月開幕でございます And I forgot my subtitles. Hold on. And yes, admittedly, I was... Oh my god, Rokuro was late. I mean... I went to the gym this afternoon and I also had dinner. My dinner being like 3 tubs of Greek yogurt. Like, yeah, my dinner was Greek yogurt. That's it. I have like a protein shake in the ready here because I still haven't reached my protein goals for today. So there's that too. But yeah, welcome. I hope, you know, this is your dark-skinned wolf boy, VTuber Rokuro. Hi. So yeah, I set this stream, well, today to English mostly because, you know, this is a basic Japanese learning stream geared towards English speakers. っていうか、そもそも日本人であるなら、なぜこんな配信にいるんだそもそも日本人は何故こんな配信にいるわけちょっとこう疑問を抱いてますがanyways, but Rokuro, you did like a Japanese stream last week too. What happened to the VOD there? Oh, as it turns out, the VOD has like some like copyrighted music, you know, remaining in the audio, so I cannot upload that. So with that, I'll basically be like repeating everything I taught last week. Yup. But this time, we should be able to accept, you know, song requests once more. You know what? That reminds me, like, I haven't actually put in... but, alright. Let me just, like, set up the dear iPad. You know how it always is. No. Ta-da! So yeah, let me just set up the... Is it even replaying? It should be. Oh, there. Okay. So we should have like everything in order. There. So as usual, I have like my lovely stuff here. Kind of just going on. So you'll notice like my head is like kind of like around the place because I have like my tablet, my my camera like on another angle entirely. So I would like switch from like my OBS right in front of me to like my tablet a bit on the side of me, so a bit in front, so in the front, but you know, kind of like for those who yeah, I'll have to repeat all of these again simply because yeah, of the simply because of like the VOD issue from last week's stream. So with that, oh, there. Okay. Don't worry, I'm just like checking my Discord at times too. Okay. For those who have been here last week, yeah, you know that I've started incorporating kanji into our Japanese lessons. And we've actually, gone through verbs. So for those who are like, at the beginner level, or, for those who want to like touch, review what they have learned so far in their like elementary Japanese, I believe this would be the right stream for you. If you're an intermediate or advanced learner of Japanese, なんでお前らここにいるんだ? なんで? なぜ? 何故? そもそもここにいる理由などないぞ。Anyways, let us cut through the bullshit. So because we are basically going for a new set of like new lessons, we usually start with, a bunch of vocabulary. And that we will do. Yeah, we will start with a whole bunch of vocabulary. I hope my microphone doesn't sound very far, because I just adjusted my microphone arm so that it doesn't get in the way of my hands when I write. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we will start off with vocabulary, which is always a nice thing, Vocabulary in Japanese is tango. For beginners, it's usually the tango or goi. Like goi is the more formal, variation of vocabulary. Oh! Slayer Vane! Thank you for coming! Stay good, arigato! Hi. 騒がしいな。なんでこんなに騒しくしてんの? Anyway, so we just started, so I haven't taught a single thing yet, so like great timing. Alright, tango. And, it's Noel! Thank you for the follow! Konbanwa desu! Follow arigatou gozaimasu! And we have reached our goal of 169. Nice. ちょっと待って。まさか、169人目のフォロワーさんは、ナワルさんでした! So to think that our 169th, nice. Follower is it's Nawal. Thank you so much. And yeah, with that, our next milestone is 269. Like for real. Like my actual like name is rated as like 69, and then the kanji for wolf. Like, okay, I'll go with like a segue here. So like, why the hell is it Rokuro? For those who like are familiar with, like with a bit of like the Japanese culture and puns and stuff, this is like a play on how they pronounce numbers, because 6 is roku, right? And then 9 is hyu or ku, depending on the situation. So you can actually so for like numbers like these, like you can actually, they would like take bits and pieces. Oh, okay. Ryokai. Let me adjust like the music request right here. I should get it to like probably 6%. Okay. Okay, is this better now? And Koi Sevia-san, thank you for the follow, 170th follower, yatta! So, okay. I've almost forgot about this, but I have this like personal thing about like, you know, followers and stuff. Like whenever I get a follow, I howl. And there's even like a reward for that. Like there's like points there that you could redeem to ask me to howl. Because I'm a wolf, you know? So with that, before I like, you know, explain any further, gomen. Sorry. Hi. Damatto. Sorry. So yeah, I will howl. And that's for Nawal-kun. And then for Koisevia-kun, that'll be konbanwa desu. 日本語ならもう一級獲得済みなんですが、いや今回はね僕が勉強しなくて教える番です。いや日本語のままでいいかな。それとも英語の方がいいかな。わかんないわ。If you need me to speak in English instead, just let me know. That reminds me, 了解しました。ありがとうございます。はい、ちょうどもうなぜか感じるところにも日本語のことを忘れてしまった。なんかごめんなさい。なんてバカな狼です。はい。説明に戻りますとね。So, to go back to like the explanation behind my name, why is it like Rokuro? 勉強しようね。勉強しましょうね。Wait, that sounds so sussy. Never mind. なんか怪しげな。ちょっと待って。Okay. Oh my god, the distraction is real. Okay. So I mentioned earlier how roku, 6 is usually roku in Japanese, and 9 is either like Q or Ku, right? So in my case, actually, the 6-9 here is read as ro, ku. I took out the ro and the ku. And then how about this? So in Japanese, you have like several kinds of reading, but they're usually categorized into two. You have the kunyomi and the onyomi. So this one, the kunyomi is okami. You probably know this. The meaning is wolf, and then the onyomi is ro. So for example, you have like, for example, wolfang, roga. Just for an example. So that's like the ro part of rokuro. I hope that makes sense. But honestly though, what inspired me to use like roku is because of like a game called Show by Rock. I actually got the idea from Show by Rock because their games are actually what you call it, abbreviated as SB69. So SB show by, and then rock, it's like rock, so 69. So given like I try to be like rock as hell, like yay! Yeah, all those metal growls and stuff. Okay, so going back, so vocabulary is tango. Could be either tango or more formally, it's called goi. So let me write that down. Oh my god, I got it. I got it right. I got it properly this time. So yeah, vocabulary is either tango or goi. Kind of fun, right? So because we'll be introducing a bunch of vocabulary, forgive me if I'm really slow because I write everything in an iPad like right now. So like if you feel like my pace in teaching is slow, particularly for those who are watching the VODs, sorry, gomenasai. It kind of makes for like an intimate experience as well. All right, so let's go for nouns first. So nouns are called meishi. So for those who want to like request songs, I think the command is SR. So on exclamation point SR, and then space, and then your YouTube link. Alright, so because I'm starting with nouns, it's just like nouns, I guess. Here goes nothing. Eiga. So this means a movie. You know what? I can just put it here instead. And then we have our next one. So I hope at this point in time, you know how to read hiragana and katakana. Like, please? Like, if not, please refer to like my YouTube channel. I should have like the past VODs there, particularly for like, yeah, the previous lessons. For both like N5 level, this, basic Japanese, and N4 level, which I haven't done in quite a while, You know what? I love this song so much. I actually had the cover of this. So, ongaku is music. Yeah, I think this format of like, vocabulary is better. Instead of like me having to like scroll left, right. Now, down. Next. Not gonna lie, it's like at a certain level, like if you're not really rushing to write something in Japanese, writing kanji can feel therapeutic. Or is it just me? Zashi. Zashi. So this means magazine. Don't worry, because I'm teaching basic Japanese. I'll be putting furigana on all the kanji I use, except for the kanji that we've used already, like I've introduced. So is there like certain cases of those? Yeah. Okay, zashi, magazine. Next up, does it need like it's like a borrowed word, so. I don't need furigana for this. Wow, my writing sucks. Sports. Because this is written in katakana, more likely it's a borrowed word from English. Most likely, So this is sports. And then another one. Date. So this refers to a romantic date, And the next one. Tennis. So this is tennis. And the next one. Terebi. Yeah, so a lot of because suru itself is a verb. So we'll be introducing suru in a bit, because this is actually like the bit where I introduce verbs to to everyone. So for now, I'm just like going through like the vocabularies, like the nouns first. So next up, terebi. So for those who have no idea, the Japanese like shortcutting things, because the actual name, like the full name of this, should have been television. And from there, you'll probably know what this means. Television. Or, in our case, just TV. Yep. Alright, next one. We're back to kanji. Doga. Doga. So this means video. Alright, just take note of the difference though. I know these two words have like ga because they're related to like picture. So ega, it's more of like motion picture projected into a screen. Hence it's like a movie because traditionally movies are like, you know, projected, right? Doga is basically like moving picture. So yeah. So you can think of like doga as like the more general, you know, approach. And that should be it for like vocabulary. For some of the nouns. So I'll go to like the next line here. So the first column here has been all about like entertainment and sports. So I'll go to the next one dealing with food and beverages. Before that, I just need like a pretty nice line. There. It's because of like this one, sports. I just need like this line so that I know where to like space my stuff. So we start here. You know what? Fire-kun! Thank you for coming! お久しぶり! ペンを取ってよく聞け Take your pens and listen. Okay, 朝ごはん This means breakfast. If you've noticed earlier, I put in like a kanji earlier in go, but just opted for a hiragana instead later on because I mean, this is technically the kanji for it. But this actually, this is rarely being used in like daily Japanese, like, you know, in daily life. This is rarely used. Nope, I'm not a jet teacher. Nope, I'm just a weeb. A weeb, a shotakon. 自分のことをバラしてしまった。いや、これはやばいぞ。No, I have not taught. Like, because if I were to actually go for like a live teaching, oh boy, I don't have any patience with kids. Nope. Hell no. Hell, I haven't even stepped foot in Japan. Like, nope, I've never been. 日本には一度も行ったことない。まして踏み入れたことないぞ。 なので、日本、旅行でもした皆さんに羨ましいな。So that's why I'm like, like jelly to everyone who has been there, even for like vacation. Like, where? Anyways, so this, using this is completely optional. Like to the point that you don't really have to. So yeah, I'll just like take a note here like what the kanji is, but for this one, just this one in particular, I won't be using the entire kanji, but just go for go. All right, next one. So I've mentioned breakfast. Will there be a mention of lunch and dinner eventually? The next one. Osake. Osake. I mean, technically, you could just go for like sake. Osake is either, the Japanese sake or just alcohol in general. Although if you want to actually, specifically say that, this sake from Japan, they actually have a distinction, which is called like Nihonshu. Like Nihonshu. And then next one. Ocha. Ocha. Tea. Actually, even like the word tea is like from China, like the reading tea, because that's how. So there's like an interesting thing about like the tea trade. If tea got introduced to a country via land, that country will call it cha. But it's via the sea, it'll be called tea. I haven't checked like fully towards it, so please take my words with a bit of a grain of salt, but please verify nonetheless, because it's really easy to misinform someone nowadays. Okay, so that has been ocha. Ocha is like tea in general. It could be like green tea in general, or it could be like green tea. But then there are like distinctions there as well. We'll introduce those next time. Next one. If there's tea, where's my cup of joe? Coffee. And there's your answer. Coffee. Which, brings me to a question. Why isn't this fee instead? Because because this exists now. Why wasn't this why wasn't this coffee but kohi? No? Will I ever get an answer about that? I don't know. Will I ever get an answer to that? I don't know. Okay, next one. So I mentioned breakfast, so we're going to that topic. How about the polar opposite? Baon gohan. Baon gohan. And this is dinner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. What the? Will lunch be mentioned eventually? Don't worry, it will be. Don't worry. Aserazu, aserazu. Asenna. Aseranai de, aseranai de. Actually, it's up next. Hi, hiru gohan. That is lunch. So, okay, here's the interesting thing here. So if you notice, breakfast, lunch, dinner in Japanese all have gohan. For breakfast, we have asa gohan. For lunch, we have hiru gohan. And then for dinner, we have ban gohan. So the notion of like meals here in the Japanese language are more of like time-based. Because in English, breakfast can be done at any time of the day as long as it's your first meal. Rokoro, why? The etymology for breakfast is literally breaking your fast. You know what fasting is, right? Like not eating for quite a while? After dinner, you're not going to eat for quite a while, right? Hence, the first meal of the day is called breakfast, because that is when you finally break your fasting. So yeah. But for Japanese, breakfast is literally, in this case, any meal you eat in the morning. So with that, asa here means morning. Similarly, lunch here means a meal you take at noon. So this is like literally your noon meal. And then dinner is your evening meal. Ban. So with that, Rokuro, what does gohan mean? It has two meanings. It could either mean a meal, or it could be like the cooked rice. So yeah, fun stuff. And then final word for like, you know, food and stuff, we have mizu, water. Water. You know what? Oh my god, I already like tired from all the the blabbering. Lamau. What has happened to me? Okay, so that's basically like the stuff we learn. Like that's for food and drinks. How about places? Oh. Alright, so let's go for like places next. Yes, I made an effort to make this kanji look beautiful. Yes. So, ie means house or home. Could be anyone, so it's not specific to yourself, you know? Could be like someone else's. Can I drink like my protein shake for a bit? Hold on. What? Oh my god, it's like... it makes a sound. No. I'm not drinking Monster. This is like a protein shake. Oishi. Now, let's proceed. Uchi. Uchi. So it almost has the same meaning as ie. So it's like either home or house. Or it could also mean my place. Like your own house, you know? Of course, there's like another meaning of uchi, but then uchi, but then this is like a different beast. That's the next time. And then next one. Kaisha. Kaisha. So it could refer to an office. Or the company. Or a company. And then lastly, for places. Gakko. Gakko. This means school. Usually we refer to like the campus itself, like the school campus. So yeah, we get interesting stuff for places. And now, let's go to like time-related nouns. I should probably have like underline here. Yeah, this should be good. Or maybe not. Asa. So I discussed this a bit earlier, but this means morning. And the next one ashita. Ashita. This means tomorrow. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. Yep. Okay, next one. Itsu. Itsu. This is when, the question word. Oh my god, this music reminds me of Citus, you know, those days of like... I miss playing rhythm games, not gonna lie. All I've been playing are like action games recently, and like mostly Blue Protocol. Like, what? And a bit more sips of the protein shake. By the way, this is like part of my dinner. I had like 3 cups of like yogurt earlier, like Greek yogurt. So each cup is like 20 grams of protein. So I consumed like 60 grams protein plus 30 grams of protein from this drink. Yep. That clocks it at like 90 grams of protein for like a meal. Bruh. Bruh. I mean, I do work out, so... Gotta be a twink, you know? Gotta train for that twink bod. Alright, the next one. No. Okay. Kino. This means yesterday. So, Rokuro, are you going to mention, so you have tomorrow, yesterday, how about today? Don't worry, it's up next. Kyo is today. Nice. So at least, you know, if you have like any excuse to like, you know, skip work, you can just say, ashita yarimasu. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, say it with me. Ashita yarimasu. So if you notice, like I do have like, although it says, you know, ashita, I don't really say the shi. It more or less becomes sh. So ashita. And the mas at the end, I didn't say masu. I didn't say masu. No. I said ma and then just s at the end. So there are certain, you know, there's certain parts where the vowel gets silenced in conversational Japanese. Alright? I think that's like one part that a lot of Japanese learners miss quite often. Hence, whenever they speak, they sound distinct. another like trivia though. So you know sumimasen, right? Sumimasen, like either excuse me, passing through, or like, you know, sorry, right? There's a variation where sometimes you could hear sumimasen. So instead of me, it becomes I. Although you still write it as sumimasen, you know? Sometimes you can just like say it as sumimasen. You see, hear how, you know, more natural it sounds. Sumimasen. Oh my god, I've been dropping like trivias lately. Like, oh my god. I'm supposed to be an unsay-so wolf, you know? I should be like sussy. But then, you know, we haven't gone to like the grammar portion yet, so I can't really like release my unsay-so-ness. So for those who are like familiar with how I teach Japanese, you're in for a wild ride with my examples. Like you'll learn the many words in Japanese for dick. Like, no, eventually, if I feel like it, I can just like say, Nikobo, Mara, Chipo, Chinko, Chinchin, Danseki. No. Kokoro yamete. Stop. Yep. I'm getting banned on YouTube for this. Okay, where was I? Okay, so we had ashita, kino, and kyo. So tomorrow, yesterday, and today. Next up. Okay, so just be careful here. So I'll not really careful. Just take note that this means so this just means that, you know, insert something here before. So this symbol, like this tilde, would actually be common as you go along reading textbooks, learning Japanese. This is like a popular format. Particularly when, you know, we go through the grammar portion, where we learn like grammatical patterns. Of course, the grammatical patterns are used with other words, right? So this is just like a symbol to basically indicate, hey, you'll have to like fill in something. So something goro. So this means at about. If it's written in English though, I'll use an ellipsis. So the ellipsis here are actually more of like time. Like 1 o'clock. What o'clock, or what time of the day could be? Is it like asa? No, you don't really use like asagoro, hirugoro. No. So this is usually, you know, nanjigoro. It's like usually around like what o'clock, like what hour, what time of the day. Like is it around 7, around at about 8 p.m. whatever. That's how you use this. So for example, if you say at about 7 p.m., you would say gogo 7時頃. So gogo is p.m., 7時 is 7, so 7 p.m. And then goro at the end is at about, you know. So at about 7 p.m. Okay, let's have this next one. Konban. Tonight. A bit of like nuance here though. Tonight, but not really late at night. But because if you want to say like late at night, like tonight, like you know, wink wink, you know, kind of like tonight, you know, you would say konya. You would say konya instead, which is written as so if you want to really say like, hey, later tonight, like wink wink, you know? Wink wink. Okay, next one. The thing we already missed because it's Monday. Aksa. Shumatsu. This means the weekend. Which is funny because it literally what it means. Like shu means week. Matsu means the end. So yeah. Literally end of the week. Weekend. And then let's learn some days of the week. Not all yet. Not yet. Doyobi. That is Saturday. Or if you're, you know, if you're one of those me habla español, that is this is Sábado. Okay, next would be okay. Nichiyobi. This means Sunday. Yeah, like why bother learning the other days of the week because they all are the same. Boring. I want to be with the weekend already. Gah! All right, so how is everyone doing so far? I think we have like 2 more nouns before we move on to verbs. Okay, next one. Mainichi. Every day. And then lastly, my bang. My bang. That is every night. Yeah. So this should be it for the nouns. I think it's a good time for us to proceed with verbs. Oh my god, this will be like our first time, you know, going for verbs. I just need this line, I'm sorry. So since there will be ads soon, so I think it's a good time for us, you know, to just like, for me to set up things. So I'll just write a bunch of stuff and then just call on ad break, you know. What the? Oh, there's, since we're on ad break, might as well make a sign for it. Yatta! This impromptu ass ad break, you know. Why need such a thing as "we'll be right back" when you can just write your own? Oh, we're on an ad break. Great opportunity for me to like finish my drink. So how's everyone's doing so far? Since, you know, currently it's just ads. Oh my god. Would you like some slurping can coffee drinking ASMR? Nope, never mind. I think I have like a noise gate on. My my god. Tadaima, 報告でございます。Tadaima, 報告でございます。Or whatever they announced at the airport, I don't know. Now it's like a good time for me to like advertise, you know, because I have like my music video. This is like my second cover song already, so for those who are like, hold on, I had to like close a bunch of unneeded stuff. I know I'm hardcore, like viewing YouTube on the tablet. Yep, this one. So, hold on. Although I'm not going to like play sound here. Nah, next time. But yeah, I'm just glad this actually got like finally released, you know? So yeah, welcome back from at jail. So I can erase this now. Next up, who verbs. So I'll be mentioning this now, but there are 3 categories of verbs in the Japanese language. They have u verbs, ru verbs, and then irregular verbs. The official term for each of them I'll eventually reveal. Like for example, u verbs are officially called godan doshi. Like what the hell is this? Homeset-san, thank you for the follow! はい、Homeset 様、フォローありがとうございます。これで新たな名役者が追加されましたということで。So yeah, with that, and we have a new covenanter in our midst. Yeah, with that, because I'm a wolf, I'm obliged to howl. Okay, 一発せーの。Well, I'm a wolf VTuber, can't help it. But yeah, thank you so much for the follow, and I hope, you know, to see you in future streams as well. はい、ね。フォローありがとうございます。これからもよろしくお願いしますね。Aw, thank you so much. I hope people actually learn though. Like, I hope there, you know, you would like learn, like considering how slow I teach. Okay, verbs. Don't bother memorizing the Japanese word yet, because even if you memorize this, like, how am I supposed to explain this godan bit? Okay, let's go. First verb. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Yes, we've heard this in hentai. Shut up. Daro ne. Knew it. I knew it. Oh my god, none of us are like say so here. Like, oh hell no, what is say so? That's a lie. Okay, that means to go. So the new ones here to use this, it's usually destination ni or e. But I'll just use like this one. There's a reason why I put this at the bottom, like ni or e, right? I mean, I can explain it now. Because they're for like location verbs in general. I mean, for a lot of like verbs, you actually go for this symbol, right? O. So object or action. So that means you do. That's usually the thing, right? But for location verb, instead of this, you use this for anything that's relating to location. So you can say, oh, 学校, so school like destination, 学校へ行く. So you could use this, or 学校に行く. Okay? Okay, next one. Can I like adjust like the right arm of my my chair? Oh, where's like the adjustment? あれ? みんなちょっと待っててね. Ah, okay, this is better. Kairu. This means to go back or to return. As I mentioned earlier, for a lot of like location-based verbs, we actually use ni or e. So similarly, this also that applies to this verb as well. So for example, 家に帰る. Go back home. You know? Okay, next one. Hiku means to hear or to listen. So this uses o. So 音楽を聴く. So 音楽 means music from earlier, right? 音楽を聴く. Yeah? To listen to music. Okay, next one. Nomu. So nomu means to drink. Hold on, can I just adjust my position? Okay. So, like from the verb, from the nouns that we have, learned earlier. So, お茶を飲む, お酒を飲む, 水を飲む. So those kinds of stuff. And the next word. hanasu. So this means to speak or to talk. So this one, usually, for now, we can use this to describe like what language can we speak? Like what language do we speak? Or languages. So 英語で話す、日本語で話す、フランス語で話す、中国語で話す、韓国語で話す、so on and so forth. So if you've noticed earlier, like I've been saying de. So you can either use o or de. And then next one. Oh my god, this is interesting. Yomu. To read. Which majority of us can't do nowadays. Like, we all have like crippling reading issues. Like, oh. So yeah, also to read, to use this verb, you have to use o. Like, for example, to read a book, to read a magazine, to read doujinshi, my favorite one. Ah. Doujinshiをたくさん読みたい。薄い本買いたい。Oh, sorry. Pretend you didn't hear that. 聞かなかったことにして。And that should be it for U verbs for now. And we'll actually proceed with Ru verbs. I'll explain later why they're called as such in English. For as to why, you know, these kinds of verbs are called as such in Japanese is would require some like understanding of how we conjugate verbs already. Because the reason lies behind like their difference in how they're conjugated. But that's another story. So if you notice, U verbs are called godan doshi, and then Ru verbs are ichidan doshi. So ichi being 1, and then go being 5. The reason is kind of related there, you know? But what's with like 5 versus 1 and stuff? I haven't actually like discussed anything about conjugations, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, real verbs. Ah, 全然わかんね。全然わかんないのかい。はい、カズさん来てくれてありがとう。Thank you for coming. はい、ただいまね、英語系向けに、初級日本語、はい、初級日本語を教えています。Okay, 起きる means to wake up or to get up. Like, you know, さっさと起きろ。アホ。No, no, no. Oh my god, I'm sorry. 悪口をしていた。Okay, next one. Probably one of like the more, you know, the most important verbs. Ugh. 字下手。Okay, 食べる。食べる means to eat. And the next verb, next rule verb would be oh, there. 日本語は食べませんって。言語なんて食べるものか。寝る。寝る means to sleep or to go to sleep. And then last rule verb would be miru. Miru. Which is one of like the more widely used, like more broadly used verbs. So this could either be to see, to look at, or to watch. Because English has like a distinction, you know. English has actually like distinction in using those, you know, to see the movies, to look at an object, to watch a film, whatever. Ugh, nuances in English are bruh. Okay, I think we can fit in. You know what? I won't. Yeah, I have to like do this kind of thing. Oh, there. Of course, can't have a language without without exceptions in, you know, a grammar, you know? Like, nope. I think I lined it. Yep, I lined it correctly, so I should be good. I think this is how it's known in Japanese. So if you have noticed so far, verbs in general are called doshi. Alright, regular verbs are known in Japanese as hisoku doshi. Because they're literally verbs who do not conform to either u verbs or ru verbs. With that, let's go. Kuru. Kuru means to come. So this is also like a location-based, you know, verb. Hence, we will be using ni and e. Rather, ni or e. Oh, there. And then the other one is basically suru. Which means in general to do. So you may see like a bunch of stuff like something suru with like, you know, like some kanji whatever, and then suru attached to it. So they're all like, you know, treated as under suru. So let's have this one for example. Benkyou suru. So once we discuss about, you know, what do you call it again? Hold on. What do you call it again? I know. Like it's kuru, but then it's not a ru verb, like bruh. Then conjugation. So like we'll discuss conjugation later. So benkyou suru means to study. Of course, like majority of the verbs they use o. Oh. So that should be it for like, so we have nouns so far, and then verbs, rule verbs, and irregular verbs. You know what? We can go next to adjectives. I think this will be interesting. I probably just need like a few. Adjectives is what is it in Japanese again? Oh, keiyoshi. There. So adjectives are called keiyoshi. I'll just like introduce a few. Not too bad. So we have "ii," which means good. And then next adjective would be "hayai." "Hayai," which means early. And also fun fact, there's another "hayai." Which I'll be introducing here. So yeah, they're both hayai, but they're slightly different. Because this one is early, the one is early, the other one means fast. "いいよ." いいのよ. いや。こっち来て。来いよ。いや、どっちの来い？こっちかな？いやいや、ごめん。それとも、こっちかな？まあいっか。And then might as well like teach this. What's the opposite of good? Bad, right? And what's the Japanese for it? Warui. Yeah, warui. やいやいと人の目の君を見る。あ、臭い is like next time. 臭い。まあまあまあ、単語を教えるにはほどほどがあるね。さすがに教えすぎると何にも覚えなくなる。大丈夫。教科書に沿って教えてるんだから、まあ、時期に教える機会が出てくるかもね。Okay, next one, we have adjectives and we have adverb. What the? adverbs are called fukushi. And how are those? How is it like? Yeah, I think. Look at this like effort. Oh, there. So adverbs are called fukushi in Japanese. So if you notice how I speak at times, you know, for example, fukushi, I don't really use like the ku here is silenced. So it sounds like more like fukushi. Okay, let's go for some adverbs right here. Oide yo, tojikomete yo, boka ni nai daro. Utao bai janai zo. This is not the time for him to sing. I have to put this here because this means I have you have to put in the negative form instead of the usual affirmative form. So amari, not much. So if there's like not much, how about like not at all? Let me just like adjust it here. What the? Oops. Sorry. Wrong. Yep, so the negative form of E is yokunai. I'll be teaching that eventually, but for now, that's like the negative form. So, amari yokunai. So, not very good, basically. Zenzen. So, similarly, we have to use the negative form of a verb or an adjective afterwards. Which means, not at all. So for example, zenzen seiso janai. Not say so at all. Like me. Anyways. Okay, next word. Taite. This time, just the usual. You know, no need for like a forced negative form. No. So 大抵 means usually. And then next up, Tokidoki. Tokidoki. So this means sometimes. Sometimes I study. Tokidoki benkyou shimasu. Benkyou suru. Oh my god, why did I use shimasu already even though I haven't like introduced that bit? And then last one under adverbs for now. Yoku. So which means often or much. Hi. And then lastly, let's go for like some expressions. So expressions in Japanese, they are called hyogen. Okay, one would beそうですね. So either, you know, you want to like agree, そうですね. Like, that's right. Or, let me see. Like, for example, if someone asks, you know, ask for like help, you know, you would say, そうですね. You know, you would go for like, you would check a bit and stuff. But the latter is less used. It's more, the former is more used than the latter. やりますね. Oh my god, I miss Luz already. なんか、ルズさんも恋しくなってきた。なんか、高音程で羨ましい。Like, he's a tenor, like he can sing like high notes. Like, I'm jelly. Okay, next expression. Demo. But. Simple, kind of simple, right? And then last one. どうですか? どうですか? So, this means how about? Oh, そうっすね. It's oh, like for example, instead of this, right? So this is your standard. This is like your like kokugo, like standard Japanese. So I think this is like an informal use. そうっすね. So. So this is acceptable but informal. This is like informal. So if your goal in learning Japanese is to, is to communicate with other Japanese people, unless you're friends with the person already, don't use this. Because being too informal would mean being kind of rude, So like your so desu ne is like your standard, like, distance. Because you're not really friends with the person. You're obligated to like keep a certain like social distance, No, not like COVID social distance, no. But like, maintain a certain form of formality or respect. But yeah, that's a legit thing too. Like, そうっすね. これどうすか? Instead of like どうですか? どうすか? 勉強っすか? 清楚っすか? Are you say so? Wait, if I remember correctly, this is how say so is written. Yep. We learn new things. Anyways, that has been a nice segue. But yeah, I think this should be it for our vocabulary. Like, boy. I know these are like a lot of words, but please memorize them. I'll provide like this entire thing in my Discord server as well. So just check like the links below. Because I think it's a good time to like, proceed with. Yep. And now that we have learned a bunch of words, like, we have introduced a new vocabulary, we will proceed to grammar. And the big grammar, point for today would be verb conjugation. Like, there's a reason why I introduced a bunch of verbs. It's to basically get to know them and get to use them in a simple Japanese sentence. So, grammar in Japanese is called bunpo. 文法. So our big, the big thing, as I mentioned earlier, is actually verb conjugation. Funny, this entire thing, actually, I taught this last week. The only problem was that when I checked the VOD, like the archive, it contained the copyrighted songs that were not supposed to be part of the VOD of the video. Don't worry, right now, in the stream, I'm listening to music, but once you check the VOD, it won't have the music. I have like a BGM playing in place of this, so it should be fine. So let me construct this nice table first. Yep, apologies for the silence because this is quite important. Alright, so let's start with rule verb first. So I mentioned earlier, as you may have noticed earlier, verbs are generally categorized into three. Either a verb is an u verb, a rule verb, or an irregular verb. Rokuro, what's a rule verb? Why are they called rule verbs? It's because all of them have one thing in common. They all end in ru. Okay? How about u verbs? You see how there's like iku, kairu, ku, nomu, hanasu, yomu. So the common thing is that they all have the u sound at the end. That's not outright ru. But how about this? Kairu. Isn't this a ru verb? Functionally, no. So, which is kind of funny because all ru verbs end in ru, but not all verbs that end in ru are ru verbs. Be careful with that. But the moment, a verb, at least in this base form right here, ends with any other u, you know, like u, ku, su, ru, mu. It's an u verb. Except these two, kuru or suru, like that even benkyo suru falls under here. Okay. Okay, now let's get like a representative for the ru verbs. So let's get taberu. So conjugation is basically, you know, to transform or to for a verb to take various shapes. We transform a certain verb to fit a certain purpose or a tense or a form, you know? So the base form, what I've been mentioning earlier, base form is actually what we call the dictionary form. So if we want to take taberu, so the dictionary form is like this. All right. So the verb base in this case is, you know, because this is a ru verb, it's just be, and then I put ru here. All right. So how do we transform this to present affirmative? You know, you know, mas, or we call the present affirmative the mas, or masu. So for ru verbs like this, like taberu, all we have to do is remove the ru and add mas. That's it. So in this case, so the present affirmative will be tabe, tabemasu. So it's just remove ru, replace mas here. Okay? How about the negative form? So instead of mas, we put in masen. So tabemasen. So what is the verb stem? So the verb stem here basically is that intermediate step before we put in mas or masen, which in this case, what did we do before putting mas or masen? Remove the ru, right? So the verb stem is basically after that. So the verb stem is tabe. So in a sense, you can think of sorry, oh my god, I'm like snoring. So in a sense, from your dictionary form for ru verbs, all you have to do is to remove the ru to get the verb stem, and then add mas for present affirmative or masen for present negative. Okay? How about u verb? So let's take what's a good example? Okay, let's go for iku. Iku. Sorry. Pretend I didn't say that. 聞かなかったことにして。You know what? Before we continue, like since there'll be like, an ad soon, I think it's a good time for us to like call an ad break, because I know it's been like 2 hours just for vocabulary. It's a bunch of words. Not gonna lie, like this can get pretty like feisty after all. So I think it would be best for us to like take a break for now. Oh, get it? See? Adverb is fukushi. There. Pretty nice, right? So ad break, i.e. The actual zatsudan. The actual zatsudan portion of this stream. Yatta ze! Okay, so I've had like a lot of protein. In turn, I need water. So with that, let me drink water. Let me like check other songs. Hold on. Oh, I like this one. I like this one. Or something like that. Like, yeah, a lot of like screamo in this song. But yeah, usually I have like, you know, this media request where everyone can basically just request songs. So you see this, like, you see the thing in the upper right? Sorry, upper left? So because there are no active requests being played, it's just going for like my default playlist, like my backup playlist. Something like that, you know? Or something like that, you know? I might as well like sing the entire song. Like I want to cover this song. But then it's like really metal. Like it'll be expensive to have the instrumentals made. Like, man, yada na. I know, I'm just waiting for like the ad break to be over, but you know, at the same time, I just want to like rest up a bit. Which kind of reminds me, which makes you think, being a teacher is no joke. Because like, you have to teach like how many hours to a bunch of rowdy kids who don't even appreciate like they're being taught things. Like, bruh. And what's worse, you have to deal with the parents. Like, the kids are one thing, Monster parents are another thing. It's not like definitely not worth the pay. We're just like a measly amount, you know? Like no wonder teachers have been leaving. Because there's nothing but stress. Like I think one teacher described it as like a toxic relationship. Where you're just in it for the kids. Like, huh. That's kind of sad, but things considering, yeah. They have a point. It's like you have like lack of teachers, and then now what? Kids are getting dumb, and those kids become adults, and we have like an entire generation of what? IQ issues. Not just like IQ issues, reading issues, emotional quotient issues. Like, oh my god, like we're so cooked. We are so cooked. Like, don't worry, it's not that I'm crashing out. It's more of like, you know, just like my 10 cents. Just like my, you know, my babbling at times, you know. Although I try not to like go to controversial topics because that'll get me under hot water too. Like, no. Okay, I think ads should be cleared up by now, so let's go. Continue. Go back and get pushed. Hi, bro. Okay. So for an O verb, let's have like a representative. Okay, let's go with iku. So the dictionary form here is iku. Right? So because this is an O verb, so this is how it's usually written in Romaji, in Roman I use underline, just I use like parenthesis just to like stress the fact that this is an O verb and the other one here is a Ru verb. So for O verbs, this may be a bit tricky because I'll put in the present affirmative for now. For Ru verbs earlier, all we had to do is remove the Ru before placing it with mas, right? But for O verbs, so the ku here becomes ki, right? And then we add mas. So that's like the final step. The final step remains the same. We add mas at the end. But going from dictionary form to that bit before putting mas, or you know, just going to like the verb stem as I mentioned earlier, is the problem. Going to the verb stem is the problem. Because it's not removing ku. So if we go here to get to the verb stem, that intermediate step into the present affirmative, you will change the U to I. Right? So in this case, so it becomes iki, which becomes this. So you replace the U with I, and then add mas or masen. That's how it basically works. Or if you just want to like think in terms of like pure hiragana approach. So the dictionary form are all under they all end in the u vowel, right? Remember when we have like, you know, when we discussed a hiragana and katakana, we have like the a, I, u, e, o, kaki, kuke, ko, tachi, tsute, to, sashi, suse, so, and so on and so forth. But they're like lined properly, right? Like they're almost lined up like a table of sorts, right? With like rows and columns. And then you have like the a column, the I column, the u column, the e column, row, and the o row, right? So a, I, u, e, o, kaki, kuke, ko, tachi, tsute, to, sashi, suse, so on and so forth, right? What I want to tell everyone is that for the dictionary form, they all end in the u row, in the u vowel, right? To transform this into present affirmative via to transform this to the verb stem first before adding mas, you will transform the u vowel to the I vowel, but the consonant remains the same. Hence, so it's like ku right here. Change this to the I. Hence we have ki, I, ki. And then add mas. Similarly, for the present negative, instead of adding mas, we add masen instead, right? But the intermediate step, or the step, you know, the verb stem step, is the same. So I, instead of iku becomes iki. And then masen. So the verb stem here is actually iki. Alright? So you can practice, you know, your present affirmative, the mas form, or the masen form, present negative, by practicing the verb stem first. But Rokuro, why are you introducing the verb stem form? Like, what's special about the verb stem? The verb stem isn't actually just for the present affirmative and present negative. There are a lot of conjugations actually in Japanese that rely on the verb stem. They would be introduced eventually, but for now these are the two. Okay? So yeah, just a summary. For ru verbs, remove ru, then add mas or masen. Okay? For u verbs, change the u vowel to the I vowel, then add mas or masen. So for example, in iku, we have ikimasu, ikimasen. Ah. That was awkward. Anyways. Okay, so, to reinforce this, let's have like another example. Okay, let's go for kairu. Although I won't write it anymore. I won't write it here. Like, I'll erase this afterwards. So let's go for kairu. So kairu. So this is an u verb. Although it ends with the ru. I know. So, it goes with something like this, right? Kaeru. So, to convert this to verb stem, so let's start with verb stem first because it's like the intermediate step. Change the u to an e, right? So kaeri. And actually, fun fact, that's how okaeri nasai came. That's where okaeri nasai came from. Like, seriously. Okaeri nasai. That's basically it. So yeah, fun fact. So kaeru becomes kaeri, right? Then you add mas or masen. Whichever you like. Okay? But Rokuro, how about the irregular verbs? Let me just like create some more here. Yep, let me just like create an entire like table again. So thankfully, there are only two irregular verbs, either kuru and suru, right? It's just called verb base in the textbook I'm using, but this is basically like glorified Romaji. Okay, the reason why it's formally called dictionary form and not really base form is because this is how it's actually called in Japanese. It's literally called jishoke. With, you know, the word jisho being literally dictionary. And the ke here is like form. Yeah, literally dictionary form. So let me just write like the other you know, columns. Sorry, the other like rows. Now, why am I listening to Italian? It's fine. Okay. So let's go with the first one, which is a kuru. For this one though, I won't use the kanji. There's a reason for it. So kuru. Do we even need a verb base here? Like, I don't think we need a verb base at this point. Like, no. We don't need Romaji because it doesn't really follow any of the two. Oh look, it's my first cover. So the present affirmative is actually kimasu. And then present negative is kimasen. So with that, the verb stem is... Yes, it sounds wrong, but it is correct. It may sound like... Why? Just ki? Wait, am I missing something? No, you're not missing anything. That's it. It's just ki. That's the verb stem. I assure you. Let me just put it in regular verbs below. But you know what? Maybe I could put this... Oh. If I remove this, this may be detached. Oh, never mind. So what's the other irregular verb? We have suru, right? So what's the present affirmative for suru would be shimasu. And then the present negative would be shimasen. So with that, the verb stem is shi. Yeah, similarly, you're not missing anything. That's it. But yeah. So for example, if you want to say, oh, I'll come tomorrow. Ashita kimasu. I know this would be like difficult to swallow, but I think this is important to like, you know, comprehend. So try practicing with other u verbs and ru verbs. For here actually, like, for example, benkyou shimasu, right? Benkyou suru, right? All you have to do is like attach the damn thing, you know? Benkyou suru, benkyou shimasu, benkyou shimasen, benkyou shi. That's it. But yeah, I think I should stop with conjugation for now because, you know, at least you should be able to learn how to conjugate it before we actually go to application. Like using these in a sentence, basically. And with that, I think it's a good time to end the stream. Let me hide the iPad for a bit because there might be like sensitive stuff. Like just for a moment. because I'll be saving this as a PDF in my tablet. I know it. I know there's a lot. I know. The lot part here are mostly, it's mostly vocabulary. So I'd like everyone to take a few moments of their, of their week, of their day, memorizing as much as they can. So where do I put like my, where do I put like the Japanese lessons? So I put the Japanese lessons right here. Okay. So I'll just upload the stuff here. Huh? Wait, hold on. I'll just upload it later. Screw this. But yeah, next week, I think, but either next week or in 2 weeks time, because I still want to like alternate between basic Japanese and N4 level. So a step above basic, because I've done these lessons last year already. So currently in my my second year of streaming, I have a part of me where I go back to discussing these basics and actually providing like VODs on YouTube as well. And also I also and alternatively I continue from from where I finished basically in the beginners, like continuing that to N4 level, to the step above that, and of course creating VODs for those as well. So if you could like imagine, eventually there will be a time in my streaming where I would be teaching intermediate Japanese or intermediate advanced Japanese. Yes, I know, like I guess if you're probably like a bit like religious when it comes to learning Japanese, you should be able to reach intermediate level in a few years. Like particularly for those who actually want to like be able to gain literacy in Japanese and not just like to learn a few words just for their travels. I think it's worthwhile. Like it'll take a while, but it's worthwhile, I believe. I assure you, it'll be worthwhile. And likewise, please remind me to go back to learning Chinese. Like, oh my god, I've been forgetting about it. Oh my god. So that has been like a lesson. That has been like, ooh, that's a lot. Before that, I just like to, basically, I just like to advertise my second cover, which has been out 2 days ago. So let me just like let me just like create a pin. Oh, there. Will this link work? No. Oh, wait, hold on, hold on. Ugh. Never mind, I'll just use the entire thing. Oh, there. So yeah, my second cover, which is Juju by Mess, is currently out. So if you're into rock or metal, I hope you would like it. Because that is like my first attempt to do vocal screams, like metal, like growling, like fry screams, like yeah, and like that. Oh, yeah. I guess for that, the www just stands for like wara 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 sa. But yeah, I think with that, we're safe to like end our lesson for today. So I hope you've learned, you've learned a lot from today, and I hope to see you the next time. But with that, who do we raid? Who do we raid? So let's raid who? Because I didn't know who to raid. What do we raid? Let me check. Let me check who's like. Let me check who's chronically online. Oh yeah. Before that, tomorrow. Thank you for the Prime Gaming subscription! Prime Gaming サブスクありがとうございます！やったー！いいの？僕なんかに。There isn't like really much like playing right now, so I might as well just like end it plain. But yeah. Hold on, where's like my... Oh my god. Okay, so with that, let us end the stream. Hi. 閉幕の儀式を行いたいと思います。So I'd like to do the closing rites for this stream. というわけで、迷惑の今月閉幕と宣言する。I proclaim this crescent moon of the covenant, the stream concluded. はい、迷惑者たちよ、my dear covenanters。来てくれてありがとうございました。Thank you for coming, and I hope to see you on the next one. The next one being actually tomorrow, but I'll be streaming only in the server, in like the Discord server. 明日の配信はね、ファンサバ限定にさせていただきたいと思いますので、サーバーにてお会いしましょうね。See you tomorrow in the server. Yeah.